Detox from pain pack. After I oh no, probably go a little faster. I was gonna do uh Leviathan, but Leviathan. I don't really think having awesome. I like, and then it was Caught me mid-yawn. What's up, there? Any other luck sack information you would like to share? Get like 3 gold bars from a raid while I wasn't looking. Stop sniffing. Go to bed. Oh, it's past your bedtime. I need to go back to hosting Diaspora though. I forgot what it was. I think it was Cosmos. The setups I was looking at, there was one that wanted there was one that wanted one of the ultimate mastery skills for Kengo. That and the extra stats wouldn't hurt. Another fish from Celeste, making the second one. Nice. So, yeah, that your luck for the past like week or so has been. Might want to be careful about anything. You know, check them 3 different directions every time you want to cross any sort of sidewalk or anything. Might be dipping into the real life luck for that. Or I'm not. Or maybe not. Oh, terminated. Hmm. Interesting. Does it need the actual /n? Oh, it does. Interesting. How many dispels do you think Hoku's going to have? Do you think they're going to buck the trend with Karen and Huang Long and making the Res of the Beast characters good for the corresponding Magna 3 fight? Hmm, that's a good question. I feel like at this point the trend might is probably still going to keep up, where it'll be just whatever is good for the Magna 3 fight. Because I mean I say this, but then they did the Raf bait and switch, but it's just like I don't really see a reason for them to do that in Karen and Honglong. Just because specifically, right? It's like what else are they gonna make them for? Because like with the Saints, that like you can obviously tell they're at least trying to make them usable for people in the early to mid game. But I can't think of anything else but giving Goku like 20 million uh dispels, like I guess like a sort of maybe free like watered down version of what should I call it, Summer Magus's or Halmel's kit. Probably Summer Magus. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, because like they might also synergize it because with like Kengo in some cases. Because if they synergize it with Kengo, they can just literally give her a goblin or give them goblin mages. I just killed my entire family. Goblin mages kit, which I think would be fine. Where they have like a couple of stacks they have to build up, and then once it's done getting built up, they have it like resets whatever skill they have for dispel, but just have it be like a multi dispel or something, or have it like recast. But I imagine that it's probably gonna be the biggest chance, the biggest like what you calls it likelihood is that they'll probably follow the trend. So I'd guess like if they follow the trend, I imagine they probably give Koku like three dispels. I think would be good, or some way to like recast a dispel skill. God, that's so annoying. Fucking this grid almost can solo this. But like sometimes it just doesn't. Whatever. I call for backup. I'll see if someone jumps in and hits it a couple times. I think that's the only thing that annoys me about the Colossus fight. It's kind of up to RNG for my team and its current state. And it's mostly just because they're missing HP, and I don't know why. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I still have like an off-round fist or two in there. Or did I drop it for more? I think I might have dropped it for more. Oh yeah, that works. Right, because they added the ability to copy and paste that. I forgot that they added that. I'm still lazy from the days where I have to like type it out by hand. I guess I could have just left it up. But yeah, like I just don't know what to do. I guess I could check if there's what you call it. If I put all the plus marks, I don't remember if I have plus marks on this grid or not, but I don't know if that'll be enough to make a difference. Yeah, it's plus mark. 20. I have this. Oh, I should finish upgrading that. I think that was back when I was running out of vessels, so I didn't finish. I guess I could drop this. Oh wait, no, right. This was like a limit break. I mean, I guess I could drop it for like Yugu, but oh, of course you grant 60 you. That could be. Make sure for some weird reason these aren't like leveled up or something. I have done that before. There was one time I found out that I think it was my win grid. I had a weapon in there that was fully uncapped and skill leveled up, but I didn't level it up. Yeah, I don't know what else to do aside from swapping this from to Yugu. Especially because like this sub aura doesn't really do us anything because I don't generate. I don't generate deluge crest in this team. Savage, I think. Oh, these should be, yeah. 2-3 all the way through. I don't know why. I don't know what else I could do. Besides just have Europa instead of Yadama. I definitely helped getting all that. Yeah. And like I can, what is it? I can solo Chev, but in order to solo Chev, I have to quasi manual the first 2 turns because I have to like activate Fediel's field effect, and then I have to hold the Sariel summon till the second turn, so that way it actually gives Snick Ogi and doesn't go to waste. I honestly think that, like, I don't know. The more I use Snake, the more I feel like she just was supposed to have like 200% bar, and they just didn't give it to her for whatever reason. But I wouldn't be surprised if maybe down the line, like they add like a gotcha character, whether grand or not. That's like the dark version of Earth Olivia, where it just causes her to be a absolute monster. Because as soon as she gets like a character that can just give her double like Ogi reactivation, like she's just a fucking beast. Because that's what it feels like she's missing. She's either missing some sort of Ogi reactivation or she's missing just being able to have 200% charge bar. I'm curious if they'll do anything though, because like apparently even in the JP side, like they were extremely critical about Snake. Because like I don't think she's bad. To be honest, like I still don't really agree that the what should we call it? the tier list the game with gave her 9.5, but I also understand due to the fact that she is dark and a zodiac character. So I definitely, well, I mean, I'd only really bump her up to 9.6 in all honesty, personally. Get calories, good. And set calories, set start, set. Because it just feels really weird that it takes 6 turns for her to refresh her buff. And that's if she's ogling every single turn. Why are you zooming away from where the instructor is trying to show the information with the pointer? Jeez Christ, you have to be shitting me, this cameraman. It wasn't too bad in the earlier lectures, but it's gotten so bad in the more recent lectures where like the professor is literally using the pointer, the built-in pointer, to try to show you like what she wants you to see it. And whoever's in charge of the fucking camera is just like zoomed out, showing you what the professor's. It's like that doesn't help. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna magically know when from the angle that you have it pointed at, I can't read the fucking board. Like, dog, are you kidding me? That's kind of cool. I'm trying to figure out. I was able to open this. Oh, this one doesn't have a. That kind of sucks. Some of the file for the codes, I could open them like in Opera browser. This one won't. Oh, that opened in the other one, but it's fine. Import parser. Oh, oh, I can just like looks a little weird, but what I wanted to open the other code for was to see. Yeah, which fight was exactly? It was one of the N3. Someone took Snake in there, just never used their skill 3 to cut the turns she's awake down. Honestly, like probably the smart thing to do. Cause I don't even know if her skill 3 is even worth casting, you know, honestly. For the cost. 'Cause I think the only part of it that probably like does anything for you is the skill damage amplified. I don't know. I find it so weird the way they designed her kit. It really like her kit feels almost like something from the older Eternal, like the not Eternals, but the older Zodiacs, like Monkey, right? Who would be like, "Oh, we'll give you a buff, but then we'll like debuff your team too," or some shit like that. Like, just feels weird. Feels out of place. Cause yeah, I haven't like sat down to watch them, but I have seen some of the other videos where like the thumbnails, right, where people are using Snake in like higher content. And she's good. She does a lot of damage. It's just in an element like Dark, you don't really, you know, it's I guess another damage dealer is nice, but there's so many of them that also bring other things to the table. You know what it is? They spent too much time making that Ogi animation. That's the problem. They spent too much time brainstorming it, and they kind of just threw everything else together and were just like, "Oh, yeah, good enough." Which is also just a lot more flexible if you don't have the skill 3 going off. Because you have like 12 turns, the Ogi 6 times, but then refresh it for another 11 turns. Which in those higher raids is really good because guard. You're gonna have to guard some stuff here and there. Why is this opening? Didn't tell it to open anything. Oddly concerning. Spotted McDonald's good. Geisha just does obligated to take he feeds the filthy gaijin. That came from us. Taters MVP. Eat that burger. Bro, every time I see the McDonald's skin, I just single tear down my face. Why can't we get that? Meanwhile, what do we get in the West? AFC collab with fucking Genshin. Oh, fucking Genshin. It's still wild to me how like Grand Blue in the West is kind of like, well, but you go to like Japan and they're like, it's like everywhere. I can go to 7-Elevens for check-ins and stuff for free crystals. Like that shit's crazy to me. I'm curious how like the numbers pan out globally. Like obviously Mihoyo's gonna have a whole lot because they have a pretty good Western audience plus China and Japan and all the Asian countries as audiences. But I'm curious, like Grand Blue, like Grand Blue has to be making a crap ton of money. There's no way they have Grand Blue Fest every year and they're pumping out all those products if they're not making a crap ton of money. You know what I haven't seen in a while is people using the bird one. That's also because I haven't been on anything that gets raced on in a while. Stuff. I mean, another thing I have to import. But I haven't actually seen a McDonald's skin in my raids for a while. Oh, well, actually, I wouldn't know. I have that turned off now that I think about it. I have that setting turned off because I'm curious what people run. So, like, it'll always show me what the job they're using, what the class they're using is over the, like, what skin they have. That explains a lot, actually. That explains all the mysteries I've had. Like, I haven't seen these skins. It's like, yeah, Melik, you have that shit turned off. Oops. I don't see skins until, like, the end. When it shows you, like, MVP, Vice MVP, host. That's when it'll show me, like, what skins they're using. Also, in that grid in that video that you sent, I'm kind of curious how important the AX skills are on the Chev swords because they have two with HP and one with like Ogi. I don't think mine has anything because I think I've just been tossing them out. Like I'll have a it's what allows me to see like weird things. Like there's I think one of the last Explorer raids I hosted before I finished out the third katana, I had a Kengo join, and I was like, huh. I don't know how many honors they got because there was like two berserkers just destroying that particular run. Oh, big time. I didn't set the timers properly, so I didn't have the timer for this first one because I keep forgetting to set it at the beginning. This Colossus, I think it's gonna finish in time. I honestly just don't think the yeah, like looking at it now, like the buff you get from Indala, I don't even know if it's actually even worth using. At least in the like with what's available now. Because it's 50% skill damage up, 20% skill damage cap up, 10% skill damage amplified. I think the only thing from that buff that's like marginally useful is the damage amplified, because I don't think the skill damage cap up does a whole lot of use if you're running double katanas or even double agonize. Oh wait, no, this is cap up, not supplement. I'm stupid. Yeah, actually that does do something. Supplemental. But still, like, I don't know, I'd have to test it. I have to see how much would be the damage difference. I don't know, it's so weird. Like, part of me almost feels like she should have just worked like almost like a dark Vajra, but then that would have been stepping on too many toes. Because you definitely don't want at least the base Eternals, or I don't want to keep calling them Eternals. The base Zodiac characters to be like stepping on each other's toes, even though they're in different elements. And 5 buff stack on top of good bonuses. Oh, I just mean in general, and like for her specifically, like would it be worth running the risk of having her buff fall off, and then you having to wait a couple of Ogi turns, depending how it lines up, losing out the double cast, so that's like 2 extra skill casts every time for that, right? Like that's kind of where I'm coming at. Cause like with the buff up, she's like 7 mil. I haven't tested what it is with the buff, like without using the buff. But like even just trying to remember, I don't think it adds that much more damage to like, because when I was running her with Lich is like after turn cast. Like I think at most was like another mil damage, which I mean like yeah, it's nothing to scoff at, but is it enough to warrant like a 3 turn cut every 5 turns? I don't really think so, personally. But I think it's just because I think the other zodiacs, that's their buff durations. Right, loop monkey has 6 turns. Sheep had 3 turns and then it went to 5 turns at full limit break. cow debuffs the enemy. Why didn't they do that actually? Now that I think about it, I feel like they could have done it better. Because I was about to be like, oh, they all have buffs, and then as I was hitting cow, I was like, wait a second, cow doesn't have buff, but like not like the same way, right? Because cow has bamboozled. Like I feel like what they could have just done is they could have just made her skill 3 something else, and then, or even just like leave it. I don't know. Maybe it's like gives her double strike or something, or Ogi reactivation when she uses it on top of like a full Ogi bar, and then just make Snakebite have everything. And I think it would have been better than what we have. Yeah, Sadala's the same way. Sadala does debuffs. He's got the Tiger Tape debuffs. Attack and defense are lowered based on level, which they then themselves get like a buff off of it. Yeah, no, thinking about it, like I feel like they kind of like it feels like her kit's old. It feels almost like her kit was designed like back when the first wave of Eternals, or why do I keep calling them Eternals? First wave of Zodiacs. My brain is so dead. Where like they were like, oh, everything gives a buff. 3 turns for Kambira's, but I think Kambira has a way to. Yeah, Kambira has her like Razorback, Razorback Lance. It's just it feels so weird because it's been. I feel like almost all the Zodiacs. It's like they don't have anything super detrimental to themselves. Which, to be fair, the I don't consider the sleep detrimental. I consider losing the double casts detrimental. Yeah, monkeys is the heal where it's like fully restore all allies HP, but then you inflict 30% defense down and 30% debuff resist down on all allies, which then gets cut down to 25% at level 55. I don't know. It's just weird. It almost feels like they designed Indala like a while ago, and then they just sat on it till now. I guess I can try it out real quick before fully getting back in this. Double. I don't think I have anything that busts that like damage. 2.2. Okay, that's another. Um, well, it's another like mill for this for skill one. Whatever, that was like 2.6. I guess it's just the crit. Yeah, it's like another 500,000. I think this one just crit first time. I don't know why this one was so big of a difference because then the second time I casted it, I'm also just being dumb because I forgot that you can cast them twice. I don't need to restart it and try each one. Wait, 2.6, 2.1. That was even less of a difference. It's kind of what I mean though. Like I know it gets amplified with like all the other stuff as the buffs and fights go on, but it's just like, is that really worth the 3 turn cut for her to pass out and then lose the double cast for a while? I don't really think so, personally. Now it makes me curious how it would feel if I just I think tomorrow when I do shove, I'm gonna try a run with her skill 3 turned off. See what that feels like. Oh, that changed. Oh, I forgot to make it a string. When's that? You got back up to 300 mats from me after that Mark II, basically everything. Can you just drop that mat at Terra? Look. I don't know if you can be given a Geisha a shakedown with your luck on Sands and Brick recently, you know? Shaking my head. The lyric out here, you know, taking their lunch money, then grabbing the Revan raids by the ankles and shaking them just to make sure they're all out. I'm like, come on, I know you got something else in there. Hand it over. You know, I forgot to check if I fully upgraded the music potatoes summon. I didn't fully read. I'm dumb. Oh, I forgot to do the finger exercise for last lecture. I guess I'll do them both tomorrow. So I don't know when it happened, but I randomly checked my mon-thurs the other day and I got the Europa one at some point. I need to start farming wellness to get his too. Kind of trolling a little bit, not having his. Though it's also mostly because it's like I don't use mana diver and fire because I don't have the dagger. Any harps? You guys been giving me a lot of weapons, but just hasn't given me a lot of swords. I have like a singular sword. Not me, not using my full limit break graph summon that I've had this whole time. Finish workout, not take. Friends are bullying you. I don't know, Jimbo. You play Valorant. I feel like it's acceptable. What are they doing? Giving you shit? Yeah, actually, I'm not. Yeah, pretty, pretty acceptable still. What are you being cringe about anyway? Were you giving them the "I love you guys," or were you just being just cringe? And you know, I need you to start critting. Like your life depends on it, which it technically kind of does. Wasn't "I love you guys"? Then the bullying is acceptable. Brought it upon yourself. Let this be a lesson to you, Jimbo. So dead. My brain is so dead. I'm gonna have to rewatch this tomorrow. Well, I'll just do the finger exercise, and I'm still confused when I do the one for this one. I'll rewatch it. I don't know why. I went to sleep early. I woke up feeling rested. Did my workout, sat down after lunch, and then from then on, my brain was just like flatlined. I don't think that needs this. Up to like I'm assuming the Wrath summon has to like increase the damage because of the cap up. Have to see how it works. Jesus Christ. It's gonna take a minute to fucking write out. What's the icon length? Uh oh wait, no, it's the length of the I mean that's a one. My brain has said that I'm definitely have to rewatch this lecture tomorrow. I'm kind of just going through the motions of it right now. Wait, get duration. That's not something we I'll finish writing it, but it's definitely not something we've written yet. I mean, that's a zero. Oh, goodness gracious. Almost done. Almost done. Oh, I forgot the parentheses. Oh, finito. Oh, yeah, I can definitely tell my brain is like going through it, trying to get through this. Normally writing that out, I'd be like, ah, fine, as happy as can be. But writing it through it halfway through, I was like, oh my god, there's still more. There's still more. Method inside your workout class that you didn't show till right now? Am I missing something? I mean, I can write it. It's not that hard. You know what it probably was? It's probably the workout. I did like the actual full workout, which I've been feeling kind of bleh recently. I think that took like what little energy I recovered from sleeping and was just like out the window. Break time. Because since I did break time a little late, I kind of had to like be a little bit more mindful. But we should be back on track after this one. Just in time for the last bit of knowledge gain. But yeah, I'm gonna have to like what I'm probably gonna do is like so tomorrow, right? It's like MLOC during the day. So I'll be going through that, and then at night I'll probably do the little mini exercises that they have under the lecture video for the 19 and 20. And then if I get stuck on 20, I'll just rewatch. Cause like I'm not gonna lie, half of the shit kind of going in one ear out the other. So gonna have to kind of rewatch it and just make sure I have everything. But this one's like pretty important for re-emphasizing knowledge. Knowledge. Kind of sad because I want to use like the Medusa setup. Well, technically for this one, it's supposed to be Uriel because I'm running Kame. But I've been running Medusa. It's like what is it? I use like it's a lumberjack, but I use like Olivia, Medusa, Yugu with Uriel in the back line, and then Kame. But once I get like the multiple swords done, whenever Yugu decides that she wants to give me swords, because all she's been giving me are fist weapons and harps, uh, I will definitely run those instead, or at least like try it out, because like it feels for F Nut, it feels a little bit more like it doesn't really matter which one I run, in all honesty. But in some regards, it's like comfier that it's like Medusa because Medusa is just dispelling the damage cut that the damage cut that Tough Nut will give herself when you don't clear the omens. Because sometimes that group doesn't clear omens. But yeah, I'm definitely waiting for getting those swords, being free from Kame. I'm just glad I have at least some setups for. I'm probably gonna try. Well, realistically, I should just level Tico and just use her, but half tempted to just do the doctor setup and. Actually, yeah, no, actually, no, I'll just level Tico. It'll have to be tomorrow though. I used my pro skips for today, but I'll probably just try that doctor setup. Pretty sure I have a Noah dagger running, like laying around that's like 3-starred somewhere. I've gotten so many Noah daggers from all the times I've had to pull on Ledgefest. Oh, mm. When is it possible to fully full auto you onto level Tico? Because the doctor is going as green skill and this doesn't. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yep. I still. Did they ever give a reason why they just don't want green skills to be auto casted? Like, I could understand, like, stuff that falls under the select stuff, right? Where you have to, like, manually select a target for the party members for, like, the buffs. But I don't remember, like, what was the reason they gave for just green border skills not being allowed? Same thing for field effects. I always found that weird. I guess I have to finally level. I mean, to be fair, there really isn't a reason for me to not to level Tika. I have her summer version leveled up, which sometimes like messes me up on Diaspora because I just wanted to like come in, revive, and then leave. But then like fucking Tika's like unkillable in that raid. It's so annoying. I won't even let her guard. Just make her take every single hit. Then she's still just like, no, 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 heal myself, won't die. I'm like, die. I need Shuku back into this goes faster. I, I, mean, all right, break time's over. Looks like we're probably going for the entire 3 hours tonight, because there's still another like 20 or so minutes, and I'll probably have to pause the lecture. Actually, no, it's not 20 minutes. There's like another 30 minutes left. Oh, actually, one second. Before I get back into it, let me go check my thermostat, aka the dog. He's my dog. As a bit of a thermostat. For seeing how much I need to, how high I need to set the space heater on the other side of the room. That's near the bed. Uh, I suck. There's something else. It's gonna be like a list of workouts. I keep moving my like middle finger slightly further, so I keep hitting the two instead of the W. Facts. Also, I think like part of the issue was last night. It was like pretty warm when I went to bed, and so I set the temp like pretty low on the heater, at least low as I usually do. My heater doesn't get like super duper low. The lowest it'll let me go for heat is like 60. And even then, usually I don't let it get that low unless it's like kind of a bit of a chilly, humid day where it's not like super duper hot, but it's or super duper cold, but it's like humid, so it makes the room feel cold. So you have to you just leave you run the heater to see to get it to like kind of burn through, cut through some of that humidity, and then I'll set it pretty low there. But I didn't have the space heater on because usually I'll leave the space heater on. Like it's the trade off I do, right, to save some electricity. Is I'll set the like the heater on like a lower temp, and then I'll like turn the space heater on so that way the area around where my dogs sleep is comfortable and not like too cold. But I didn't do that last night, so I woke up and I was like, "Oh shit, it's cold." But I couldn't tell if it was cold, or if it was just like I let like it was just like humid cold, and then I went outside and it was snowing, and I was like, "Ah, oops." I was like, "No, it was cold." I think it was like, well, quotations cold. I think it was like 28 degrees when I woke up at like noon. Well, I woke up earlier than that. I didn't get out of bed till noon though, because I just wasn't in the mood for it. I woke up I think at like 10 in the morning. I didn't look at the clock. I just tried to go back to sleep. But I couldn't go back to sleep because I woke up because I was awake, not because I was like something woke me up. Well, a little bit of both. But I just laid in bed for like another hour and a half. Around like 11:30 I started getting up, looking at my phone, seeing what was going on. But it was kind of cold though. It was snowing a bit. I hope it snows a bit more. The last like 2 years or so, we'd at least get like a couple inches, like in January. So I'm kind of hoping we get snow. But it seems like it's going to be a little bit on the warmer side this year. I did the same thing. I forgot the last one. Can't tell if someone's like running over something, like ice, or if someone's actually shooting off fireworks on a fucking Monday. See, the only thing I really, really don't like about this course is they keep changing the name of the functions throughout, which isn't too big of a problem if you run their coding thing, because they do give you like like they give you everything they give in class except for like the tests and the quizzes, right? Or at least I'm assuming so. Uh, but they'll give you like the lecture, right, recorded, the like the slides, the note like the notes for the slides shown, and they'll give you like the code sheet they hand out, like file, which is like great and all, but like in the file, like they'll change the name of shit like 20 times. Like for instance, when they show it in the slide, it's running workout. Like this is the name they gave for it. So this is what I wrote. But then now in this one, like they want it to be run workout instead of running workout. And it's like I'm gonna need y'all to like make up your mind. As I guess that's like one thing I like about the MOOC a little better when it's like building on itself. And they don't just change the name of functions and classes and stuff. Well, we haven't gotten the classes part yet. But like the name of a function is the name of the function. They don't just change it from one to the next. Like if it's building off of it. Kind of one of the only One of the only other real complaints I have on this course. Because to be honest, you're not supposed to be writing these out. I'm just writing it up because I'm not using the code examples they give us. I'm like typing it out just for extra practice because I can pause the lecture. It's interesting to note. Something to remember is it seems that if you want a variable that to get changed, you're gonna have to like initialize it here again, even though it's running from here too. It seems to be the case. Or in this case at least. Set calories probably you could still run it and just do that. Yeah, it's kind of like one thing I don't like. I feel like they do a bit of a poor job of like teaching you how to like kind of piece things together when they do this sort of thing, which I understand it's specifically for uh speeding things up because again it's a lecture and they only have a certain amount of time, right? While with the MOOC, it's a bit like less of an issue just because since it's not like an actual lecture where they're taking up physical space and it's just written out, they can like kind of piece things together a little bit better. But a lot of times they'll do this and it'll just have stuff like import this like just written into it that you that they don't show you. They don't teach you that. And then but it's already written into the little code thing they have. And I think that's not exactly great, but it is what it is. But I did download it. Really do need to make something that like I have to write a class for, or at least like I don't know. I've been trying to figure out on some of the other ones like what I can write a class for, but it's kind of hard to make that call on my own because of just lack of experience. I guess I could put all of the file making stuff together, right? Like the read, write, delete. They're doing it again, bro. Like they keep like they just keep rewriting things. Like it's so annoying. It's so annoying. When I'm trying to like write this myself and put it together. Like now instead of using start, it's start date, end date. And it's like, is it really that hard to make sure everything is the same all the way up and down? Like I don't know. It's something that's again, it wasn't really too big of a deal. Uh or it wasn't like very often an issue early on, but it's it's being more of a problem now where they'll just like randomly rename a variable. But again, it doesn't really affect it when they're doing it with the class stuff because the class stuff has all the stuff already written out. And it's like just make up your mind. Like in all honesty, like that's all I can say is like just make up your mind on what you want it to be. Because I feel like that's just like for someone like me, that distracts my brain because it just gets annoyed. Yeah, learning how to do like superclass, subclass stuff is definitely going to take some work. Like the inheritance things, that's definitely going to take some practice. That's why I need to find something that I can do it with. Oh, so backslash lets you do that. Yeah, so this is 20. We have, I think it's three more? No, six more. Okay, a lot more. Yeah. The, let's see. The interesting part, I think the next, like, from just reading over it, the next three lectures seem to be mostly theoretical, which I'll probably still, like, watch them, but I don't know if I'll, like, how much. Well, I guess it just depends on, like, what exercises and examples. And then the last three seem to be pretty interesting. The very last one is I'm kind of looking forward to because it's like list access, hashing, simulations, stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing the end of it. I'm kind of curious how the MOOC program is going to tackle some of this stuff though, because the MOOC is definitely going faster through some stuff because they're also like skipping over certain things and like the order they're teaching things in is like different. And to be honest, I wouldn't I really can't say one is better than the other. I really feel like if you're gonna learn Python like in an oh it's in ins and outs, do both. Like learn like do both of the courses. Not necessarily like side by side, but definitely like yeah. I mean, you can do what I do, where it's like I'll look at one for like a couple like during the day, and then the other one. Like I still think that if you get ahead in one, and then use the other one to kind of like uh reaffirm like what you've learned along the way is really good. I still think like I would say like do the MIT one, get to about lecture probably 13, like about halfway through, right? So like 13 out of 26, like anywhere between uh like 11 to 13. Once you get there, then I would start the MOOC because the MOOC does a pretty good job of giving you things to kind of like it also teaches you more like a couple of other things because the MOOC kind of feels like if I had to tell the difference, it'd be like the difference of taking like a class at a university, obviously, and then a class at like a technical school, which I don't think the MOOC is like a technical thing. I'm pretty sure it's like an actual university course also, but it feels more like work orientated and a little less like theory orientated. And it's just like both are good depending on like what you want to do, I guess, or like how you work. It also kind of each has their own like benefits and like pros and cons, right? Like the the MIT has a lecture that you can listen to, which for me is helpful, but it's also the case of and the MOOC is like all text based, so you have to read it yourself. But I feel like the pacing of it isn't too bad. Like even if you're someone that struggles to like read through things, uh, because it's not like reading a textbook. Or at least in my opinion, it isn't. As someone who's had to read a bunch of textbooks to learn shit before, like it's reading a textbook is 10 times worse than the MOOC course, especially because they usually break it up a lot. And well, depending on like where you're at, some of it not so much, but there's definitely a good chunk of it where they'll break up the reading with like, all right, here's how this works. Now here, do this. Here's how this works. Now here, do this. And I think they have a pretty good handle on like when to break it up. Meanwhile, the MIT course is a little bit more hit or miss, I would argue, with that because since it's a lecture, right? They have a timetable they have to like stick to because they can't just one indefinitely keep the student, and two they can't just take up the class like indefinitely. I'm actually kind of curious. Oh shit, we're gonna fail this one more than likely. Yeah, sometimes my Leviathan raids go to shit with this comp, and I don't know why. When it has Alex, and I don't pay attention enough when it does, because it's usually during like streaming. But yeah, it's kind of like one of the major downsides. I think it's one of the reasons I didn't do too hot in university, aside from the fact that, I was like 18, 19. Nobody's up my ass about going to class. I don't have to worry about mob busting down my door and being like, why are you still asleep? I can turn the alarm. That was terrible. Kidding. That was such a bad thing. And then I made like some other poor decisions that I don't feel like getting into. But like, yeah, because like I could do the courses. Well, that and it was like, oh my god, it was just like a huge mixture of things. The department I was in was a pain in the ass. Like every time I'd hear what other people's like departments were doing to help them, like I just look at like what I was dealing with, and I'd be like, bruh, we don't got none of that. Like so shit. I had a buddy of mine who started in the same course, like the same major I did, and then he changed majors to one of the other engineering courses. So he's still in the same like overall. Oh, we didn't feel it nice in the same overall like I guess like college, right? Because it was broken up in like College of Engineering, College of Education, College of whatever inside the university. I'm just gonna treat this as like one long break because I don't really want to start the next thing. My brain's a little too dead, so we're just gonna yap in Grand Blue uh for the rest of the stream. But he was just like he'd be like, bro, the advisors are like fucking night and day difference, dude. Like our advisors for the program I was in, they were just like, do you have an appointment that you have to set up like usually at minimum like a week ahead of time? If no, they just didn't care. You show up and be like, I have a question about like this, like a legitimate question that they would have to, like they could give you information on. They'd be like, you make an appointment as and you know like again as I've worked like a desk job, so like I understand that just because to you it doesn't seem like they're doing anything, it doesn't mean that they're not doing anything, right? But vice versa, just because they look like they're doing something doesn't mean they're doing something. I've had those coworkers, uh, but like they just wouldn't care. They just because it was like the attitude, right? Like you could just tell from the attitude, like they wouldn't care because they'd be like, "Oh, well, look at the schedule over there," and then just tell like, right, like go online and then do a thing, like sign up, and it was just like, I have to get paid to like help students. Like, what's going on? And then when I went to what is it? I had to get a signature signed by the dean of the department or the head of the department, and the guy who I had as the assistant dude who was helping me, that was part of like the main campus program for helping students. Uh, like dude was 10 out of 10. Tried his best to like help me out as good as he could. He gave me a thing. Like he looked up everything we need. He's like, yeah, all you need to do is just go. He's like, call the guy, set up an appointment, go with this paper. Like we had because we'd been working on it for a couple of days. I forget what it was I needed the paper for. I honestly don't remember. Uh, have him sign it and come back. I've already done everything else. I've sent the emails. Everything's fine. You just need a set appointment. Get him to sign it, right? Like, and he's like, I already sent him an email so that he knows. I was like, all right, cool. I set up. I literally like step out of the door, call the guy, set up the appointment. I go like I wake up early, like I because the first of all the guy was a bit of a prick on the phone, and he was just like, oh well, if you want to do it, it's I think it was at like 9:45 in the morning or something like that. Which I was like, you know what, fine, because it was during like just the end of summer break going to like the spring semester, and I was just like, all right, fine, that's fine. So I like woke up early because I was living like a mile off campus. So I had to walk across because the buses weren't like in use for the summer course, which is fine. Again, it was just a mile. I was used to walking to campus anyway. I'd walk there every day. Um, because I knew a couple guys that were taking summer courses. So I was living on an apartment off campus, and like I show up, and it's like I show up like 20 minutes early because I'm like the guy's like he's the top of the department. He's probably busy. He's making time for me because it was like 2 days later. Like it was within a reasonable amount of time. I was like, all right, fine, cool. And so I show up and I have the paper. I show up like 20 minutes early. I'm like, yeah, here, I have an appointment with so and so. It's at like the 45. I'm just here chilling. And, lady's like, okay, please have a seat, blah, blah, blah. I sit there. The guy doesn't call me until 30 minutes after the agreed upon time. So I'm already like mildly annoyed on the inside because I've watched him walking in and out of his office, and he hasn't said anything. And like, I know he saw me at least twice. Uh, how do I know this? Because I'm. One time was because I had to sneeze. Like, it wasn't even a fake sneeze. It was like a legit sneeze, and he looked, and I made eye contact. And like, he didn't even ask his secretary, like at least like while standing there, like who this person was. He was sitting like in front of his in the waiting area for his office because it wasn't like a waiting area for like multiple offices. It was literally just him. And so he calls me in 30 minutes late. And so I explained everything, and I give him the paper, and I was like, you know, Mr. So and so should have sent you an email. He told me you sent a confirmation. Here's the paper. And I forget what the hell he comes up with. He came up with some like random bullshit about like, oh, I don't know. I have to talk to so and so. I have to talk to this and that. I have to do this and blah blah blah. And I was like, you're kidding me. I was like, there's no way. Like, like it was kind of the way you could tell that he was just making shit up just to try to make things more difficult for me to like make me not want to do it. And he's like, yeah, so you'll have to like do this and that. And so like I left, and like, you know, as soon as I'm leaving the thing, I'm immediately calling the other guy because I'm like, I'm assuming that, like it might work on other people, but for me, I was like, bro, I already like these are the last like two steps to finish, so I can like, you know, get my like because the point is I had to get this approved to get my schedule approved to then go to the GI like office for the GI bill because my father grandfathered me into that. Like he gave me like what was left over is his. So I had to go there, and so like, you know, I was like, this is like the last like step before the last step because all I have to do over there is they just go and they just make sure that my classes are on my program, and as soon as everything else clears out, they're just like, all right, cool, you're good to go. So like, and those guys were super chill over there, and like I called the dude, I explained what he said to me, and my, my assistant advisor, like, because he was technically another advisor, was speechless. He's like, I could tell he was trying not to cuss. He was like, "There's no," and there was such a like a good break that you could have heard through the psychic wavelengths the word "fucking." And he's like, "There's no way that he's coming with that stuff." When I emailed him 2 days ago, and he gave me a confirmation before I sent you because I didn't want any of this to. Like, I could tell he was so mad, and so he's like, "Do you have anything?" I was like, "No, not really. I just got this for today, and then go to the other office to get them to like, you know, get my schedule, and then go to like the budget people and get that done." And he's like, "All right, if you can find a way to sit, I'll figure this out." I think like an hour later, I get a call from the head of the department. I don't know who the advisor called, but like whoever it was important enough that the guy who was in charge of the engineering department couldn't ignore it, and he was not happy that he had to sign that paper. It was written all over his face. His face was he was annoyed. He didn't want to do it. He kept like trying to make it seem like it was some big deal, like some big favor he was doing. And I honestly was just like my face literally said, I could care less. I was just like, I don't care. I don't care at all. Like my face said it all, just right back. Like I'm not like sometimes I can mask my emotions, but usually like especially in that sort of situation where there's literally nothing he can do, I was just like exec setup for TA here, but you can limit just 3 front line. You actually don't have to deal with the it's just what's that? It's just Percy, Aglavale, Wilness, and then Michael and Chichery. To be honest, like I could probably just do it with these three and it would be fun. But I don't particularly mind about the swapping. It doesn't really affect the outcome all that much. It still gets soloed. It's just sometimes like Aglavale takes a bunch of damage for no reason. But yeah, I know because that's what I used to do for the bird in Arcarum. The bird that swaps your teammates. I'd get so fed up with that stupid bird. I had a I had a team. My Arcarum fire team was just specifically just frontline, so I wouldn't have to deal with it getting swapped because I was such an annoying mechanic. But on Tia, it doesn't really affect the outcome. I think it probably like elongates the fight by like a handful of turns. Because the only real downside is Michael doesn't use her one. If Michael's one was just next slot, I feel like that might be something they should do. Like just code the buff skills that are for like a singular thing and either just default it to MC or just default it to the next like character, I think that'd be a nice change for full auto. But I feel like that would probably take a lot of work because they'd have to go and do it for every individual unit. I mean, granted, they do have like the code, right? Because like for instance, Holiday Cow only targets MC, and then Earth Olivia specifically targets the next person. Yukata Silva also targets the next person. So like it's probably doable to just default it to that to allow skills like that to work. But yeah. So I was really not too big of a fan of universities after dealing with that. And then I went to technical school. And the technical school was great. Part of it was also that like I was tired of just I don't particularly enjoy failing at something. So failing out of university kind of left me a little annoyed. Granted, it was like the reason I failed was a little complicated. It was just due to bad life decisions, really, rather than being bad at the school itself. I was point one off of my GPA from being able to continue. I was just too much of a young moron back in those days, though. And then and I went from that to like the technical school I went to, which was they had pretty relatively high standards. Obviously, it wasn't to the same level of like the university stuff because the courses weren't as theoretical, and it was more for getting people, to get into the workforce. So it was a bit more from a practical approach. But like, I think in the three, because they did like a trimester setup, so they didn't have like quote unquote summer courses. You know how like a regular university, you have like spring semester, fall semester, and then you can take summer courses, which are like really condensed. Theirs was just a trimester. It was like you got a week off in between semesters, but they went from you would get like a one long break for winter break, and that was it. You didn't get a summer break, which I didn't really mind. I actually prefer that over the long summer break that universities do. But I was like, so like in the 3 years I went there, it was like 9 semesters. I think I was on the dean's list for like 3 or 4 of them. Because I just was just like, it was more of a proof point to myself. I was like, I really, really don't want to fucking fail another class. Especially when I know I can pass it. That was really fun. My mom's face, because it's always funny, because like, so a little bit of bear trivia. I didn't want to attend my high school graduation because I didn't care. My mom's like, if I have to push you across in a fucking wheelchair, you're gonna attend your graduation. I was like, okay, mom, you don't need to break my legs to get me to cross the stage. Like, I'll walk across it myself. Thank you, much appreciated. Honestly, like, if it wasn't because alphabetically I sat next to a friend, I would have been I would have been so mad. And it was also like slightly awkward because we were towards the end of the well, not really for me. I didn't really care too much by that point. But we were sitting towards the end of the row, and the person who was recording for like our row was my ex girlfriend from like the first semester. And so the friend I was sitting next to, she knew this, and she always was like, "Hey, are you gonna say hi?" It's just uh, but when it was like whatever. It was like when I was doing the technical school, and like we'd meet up for lunch. I got like the dean's list thing, and I was just writing like, oh hey, by the way, here. She's like, what's this? I was like, oh, these are like the 2 semesters they gave me dean's list awards. And she's just like, what the fuck? Why don't you tell me these things? I was like, I don't care. Piece of paper. Who cares? I don't. All right. Well, yeah. I didn't want to like end at a weird time that would have just been like 2 hours and 45 minutes. We made it to the 3 hours. But yeah, so tomorrow, well, basically, I think like I know I said before the plan would be Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday would be like full coding. But I think what I'm gonna do is Monday's in flux because it kind of just depends on what Zilla has going on. But it'll generally be Tuesday, Thursday will be full coding day, so it'll be like MLOC during the day, MIT at night. Especially now that MIT, like I'm almost done with the course, and the next couple courses are like the next like 2 or 3 lessons are seem to be more theoretical. Uh, so will be less like even she like the professor themselves stated that it'd be less programming. It would literally just be like theory stuff to think about. Um, It'll be Wednesday night and Friday night for sure. I think like Monday, like even if I don't do any gaming during the day with like Zilla, I'll probably just leave it in the air if I feel like gaming at night. But Wednesday night and Friday night are going to be like gaming nights, quote unquote. I say gaming nights, it's not gaming nights. It's Grand Blue grind nights. It's just gonna be me sitting here grinding Grand Blue and yapping because for the next 3 fucking weeks, this game is gonna have my life. And because we have Rise of the Beast that starts in like what, 3 hours? What time does Rise of the Beast start? But we have that followed by Exo Cocytus, which I need to farm because in like 2 hours, according to Wiki. Uh, and then I need to farm Exo Cocytus for the gun, for hopefully multiple guns, which unfortunately the drop rate's going to be bloated with whatever new weapon they have. Rage that's good. And then after that, we have Guild Wars, which I need to get a couple more so I can finish the Cosmos sword and then start building up for the Cosmos fist. Ugh, pain. Pain. But yeah. So let me see. I'm gonna take a quick look. I think most people that anybody about I usually try to like rate people without doing what I do, but it is what it is. We're gonna wrap it up there. Thank you everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. If it's early, if you have a good day. It was like Nick for Stay safe. Hydrated. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye bye.